What did he say?
He's actually a really nice guy, though.
That's funny. Me and Travis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Misfit Podcast, episode 11. I am Drew. That's Seth.
That's me.
And we are joined by the recently crowned second and third fittest men in the South region.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
So we got Travis Williams in second place, and a little bit behind him, officially.
2/10 of a second.
2/10 of a second behind him, Jared Crook.
I like the Mr. Misfit. They called me that a couple
Mr.
times.
Misfit, I like that too.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good.
You do have that over him. That's about it,
Mr.
though, right
Misfit.
now.
It's all right. I was Jordan's training partner the whole time. I wasn't Travis Williams. I was Jordan's training partner.
That's true.
That is true.
And then you gave him the finger, and everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
They put you even in a higher spot on the podium, and
Well,
The finger gets you a higher spot on the podium.
How soon until they forget about Jordan and are only talking about you?
next Wednesday.
When they find out my weight loss story.
Very true. That's pretty
How
compelling.
many people so far know about that? 100 and
Dude, a
170,000?
shitload.
150,000 or something like that?
people.
How many?
The
170.
Travis Williams story, YouTube.com
Hey, I'm in that video,
/Misfit
so-
Athletics.
You're what, Jordan?
I'm in that video
Doing what?
talking.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
Kind of like right now.
All right, guys, let's get into it. We're going to do a South Regional recap, okay? So we're going to start with Travis because he came in second. Let's just talk about it a little bit. Take me through it. Let me know how it went. I wasn't there.
Randy was a lot of fun. That hurt my biceps a lot.
Everyone was making fun of you for the wiggly snatch, and you won.
The snake snatch.
Yeah, but I can't say much about it. It is what it is.
Okay.
The fucking I don't know, like
All right,
Jordan,
wait a second.
Jordan, let's talk
all
about
weekend he has all he says nothing but the snake snatch. Like he's like, dude, I have this special snatch to win Randy.
Hey,
now
I
he's
did
not
it and
gonna
I
talk
won.
about it.
He did.
I
He's
did
like,
it
he
and
told all his
I won.
athletes.
It's funny, though, too, because they interviewed you right after, and they were like, so, like, what do you think? And you were like, how about WOD 2? Let's go. Like, you didn't have much to say about it. I like that. That was good.
WOD 2.
Randy's done. Normal Travis would have, like, smashed the thing, the CrossFit Games thing behind him and said, like, wow, Randy, winner.
He's like, Randy was the best WOD ever. It's the best test of fitness.
All right, Jordan, we're going to go over to you. Randy.
I was just a little too conservative with it right out the gate. I thought like I could prolong the fatigue by going a little bit slower, and it set in just about the same time when I did in practice.
Did you do all 3 sets unbroken?
Yeah, I did it all unbroken. Just
What was your time?
2:59, 2:58, I think. Like point something like that. It was
That's
pretty
something
good.
slow like that.
It was
Yeah.
not,
But you
it was
didn't
not
have.
good.
You didn't have. Everybody that I've talked to so far has had like Fran Long and like was. it was
No,
pretty
they
rough.
said their posteriors were hurting a lot more. They were breathing a lot more. My grip was burning, but that was it.
All bicep.
Yeah, so that was a big indicator to me that I didn't go hard enough on that workout. I was like,
Yeah.
I went too slow in the first 25, really, and that was where I lost it.
Seth, you were there. How'd you feel about these two and Randy?
Well, before Randy, with those two warming up, Jordan was pretty smooth with the bar, and Travis was doing his wiggly snake snatch, and people left and right were either staring and pointing and laughing. I think a couple people came up to me and said, "Aren't you going to do something about that?" And I just said, "No, not the time and the place to do something about it." And then he went out and won, which is pretty funny. But I actually think, even though Jordan was conservative, he didn't really get the same beat-up factor that anyone else had. And I think that kind of played a big part in the second event for him. I didn't personally expect him to do as well as he did. I knew he could climb the rope, but taking second by a hair behind Roy Gamboa was, I think, surprising for me. What do you think?
I knew I could do that, and I felt comfortable going into it. I actually wanted to win, and I
Really? Did you?
I did. I was going into that thinking that I was going to win.
You told me that you didn't know he was catching up to you.
I didn't know that. Like the announcers.
No, he was sneaky about it.
He was very sneaky. So the announcers just didn't. They weren't announcing where he was. They kept announcing where I was, where Jason Hogan was, and Adrian Conway. Adrian was catching up, and I was ahead of him. And I thought I had the win. And I was coming down from my rope when I saw Roy take off. I was like, oh, there he goes.
Yep.
Where did he come from? I might have been able to do something about that if I had known, like, say, oh, Roy has this, so many left. Maybe, say, jump up the rope a little bit quicker to do something about that. I mean, it's kind of hard to say now, but I wanted to win on that one.
I was in the Atlantic region with Joe, and each night we would go over, we sat down with Bill, who was there doing the video stuff, and we would go over, what happened, what could have gone better, what we wanted to happen for the next day. And that was the thing that I was trying to get across to Joe is, maybe you left a little out there on this WOD, but that may or may not take away from a different WOD.
Absolutely.
Regionals isn't 1 or 2 workouts, it's 7.
Mm-hmm.
So he might have left a little on the table for Randy, and then he was able to make up the points from that with Tommy V.
And maybe he would have had the same Tommy V score regardless, but I was just like, hey, Jordan, get top 10. And he was like, I'm going to take second place. I was like, all right, great. That makes that easy. And then Travis, not really concerned about things, but I had sort of similar expectations for you. What did you think about the workout?
So Tommy V, I was going into maybe hoping for like a top 15, top 20. And
Hang on, before you go, let's just throw this out there. You undershot yourself almost the entire weekend. Would you say that's fair to say? You had a couple events that you were very confident in, and the rest you were just like, I hope I'm about here. And then you surpassed everything that you shot for.
That was pretty much the entire. Randy, I wanted to win.
Right.
The Snatch, I knew I was be up there.
Right.
Everything else was kind of like, oh shit, this could go either way.
Right. So anyway.
Yeah. So going into Tommy V, hoping for like a 15th at best, maybe. The ropes were a lot shorter than what we had practiced on, and so like in the back, I went up the rope in 1 pull on the first 5 that I did, and I was like, I might actually have a chance in this workout. So I think I had a little bit of confidence up. So I went out and I did 2 pulls on the first 12, and I think I was the first one done with 12 rope climbs, first or second one done with 12 rope climbs, and I was like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be the first one done here. And so I slowly made my way to my barbell, did my 15 thrusters, and then I went back to the rope and got chalk. And I was like, I'm not supposed to be going this fast. I'm going to slow down before I fuck something up real bad. I think I was a 3rd or 4th one or 5th to back to the 9 thrusters, and then ended up in I think I took 5th in my heat.
What was that overall?
And it was 7th overall.
So 7th place, you were hoping for top 15.
Hoping for top 15.
7th place.
7th, yeah.
Big difference, right?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. So I think day 1 overall for me, even with we had Alexis and Dusty too. Dusty had the roughest day 1. Just don't know if it was nerves or what it was. He just wasn't able to put Randy together or Tommy V. But he battled back in some other events pretty well. Alexis was kind of right where I think we all expected her to fall. That was going to be her worst day, and she was going to be building up through the rest of the weekend. So end of day 1, you guys are both feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Definitely had a little I wasn't happy about about Randy, but I felt much better after Tommy V.
Right.
What place were you sitting in day 1?
I believe I was in 5th after day 1.
So you had a workout 1 of 2 that you didn't think you did well in, and you were still sitting exactly where you needed to be. So
Yeah, I was where I needed to be. I'm just not satisfied when I can walk away from workout and say, I should have done better.
Jordan hasn't walked away from a workout thinking he couldn't have done any better in the last 2 years, though. So
pretty important, though, right?
Yeah,
it's a good trait to have.
Especially if you're talking about like the open or regionals where you can test something and then go again, knowing that as an athlete where you can pick places to speed up or a different tactic, anything along those lines. I think that can help a lot. Okay, so we're going to start on day 2, and you actually won event 3, so we'll let you go first. Let's try to even things out here. Talk to me about event 3. It looked really fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun up till the sumo deadlift high pulls.
It was not fun.
No, it wasn't a bad workout. The true form wasn't. It was hyped up to be this horrible thing that everyone was like going to be just not. They had no idea what to do on that thing, and we got on and was like, oh, this isn't too bad.
It was running, right?
Yeah, it was just running.
So you were running, and then okay.
It was just running on a true form treadmill, which no one had. And so
8-minute AMRAP slow jog.
Yeah, it was just a 7:30 8-minute mile, which every one of us could do. If you pushed on it, I think it would have punished you more, though. I tried to run a 6. When in training I did this, I ran a 6-minute mile. Felt fine. If I had tried to run a 6-minute mile on the true form, I think it would have hurt me a lot more.
Yeah. Although you did say when everything was said and done, that you could make up time on that by running harder in the workout. You both said you could have picked it up a little bit on the run.
Yeah, I think
it's hard to dictate your pace on that though, right? Because
it is. It's a long workout.
Like
so
if you try to go a little bit harder, you might go a lot harder. It's
the miles per hour on that thing were all over the place. The run, pretty simple. Overhead squats, not hard. You just got to get them done. And then the workout begins really, to me, when you get on the GHD. And it's like, who can be consistent with these and just move through them without having to break too much. I did 10s all the way through 60 or 70, I believe, and Travis did a big chunk, caught up to me, passed me up actually. Got off the thing, did the double under 75, 75, and I passed Travis back up. And the sumos, in practice we did 5, so that's what I wanted to do out here. The key to doing the sets, though, were to not walk away from the bar for too long, or period. And I think I did well on that, on the first set of 25, and then it started getting rough after that. And when you finish those sumos, the last thing you want to do is box jumps.
You got to 40 with 5s though, right? And then you did singles through.
Yeah, I
40
did.
to
I
50?
did.
you finished with sets though.
I finished
correct?
with a set,
Yeah.
so I did like 5 singles, then a set of 3, then like a set of 2. I think.
Okay.
I believe that's what I did, and got to the box jumps and I had 3 minutes and just kind of steadily kept moving. Adrian Conway caught up to me at the end. We had a little race for probably about 45 seconds, me and him going back and forth, and at the end he got a no rep, and I took advantage of that and did 3 quick box jumps and took the lead, and that was that. And I was ready to pass out after that.
What were you guys saying to each other on GHD?
On the GHDs, when I got to 70, I looked over at Jordan, and he broke at the exact same time. And I was like, what number are you on? And he goes, 70. And I was like, oh, I caught you, bitch. And then I flipped back to keep going before he started to go. So I made sure I passed him right there.
That's all I could read on his lips
Yeah.
was bitch, because I was looking,
Bitch.
I was like, they're talking, and all of a sudden I saw bitch on his lips. And I was like, he just called Jordan a bitch. I saw it. And I was right.
So we were talking about that earlier today, and I was like, he's like, yeah, well, I passed you back up on the double unders. I was like, man, I should have turned around and said that right back to you when I passed you on the double unders, but I didn't.
Would have been amazing.
It would have been funny.
So I got to watch from like an odd point of view, because when you watch on the telecast, you know, I'm hiding in the corner at the Atlantic region on my iPad. Like, I only see pieces of each of you exercising at random times because it's on Conway, it's on Gamboa, it's on you guys. Jordan's demeanor, even when he wasn't in the lead, made me feel like he was going to win the workout. He had a very, like, his GHDs looked like up and down and up and down, and his double unders looked smooth. And although he had that, like, ridiculous stare at you that he does with his head cocked to the side, I have some photos of that from when we were up in Maine. Like, he just looked smooth on that workout. Like, he looked comfortable. He looked like he didn't care whether he was a little bit behind or a little bit ahead. Do you think that, I mean, between you guys, do you think that helps at all? Even though some points you were in the lead, you looked like you were, like, working your ass off. And Jordan was a little more methodical.
Well, I suck at double unders. So when I got there, I did the first 75, and I was really tired after that, whereas Jordan can double under all day. So that's probably
You
why
say
I
that's
look
right around the
tired.
equalizer. Yeah.
Yep. So I mean,
Even on the GHD sit-ups though, they
GHDs,
showed Jordan, and he just
I was very
looked
relaxed.
comfortable.
I was really comfortable on GHD.
Yeah.
I knew that, but I don't know if I'd looked. I may have looked uncomfortable. I don't know, but my split was like 450 to his like 530 on the GHD.
Wow.
So
He had a lot quicker GHGs. I was a lot more relaxed, and they were a lot easier than I thought they would be. So if I could do them again, I think I'd do a couple sets of 20 right out the gate to get a big chunk out of it because of how comfortable they were. Going through the GHGs, I mean, I was having fun with it and just trying to relax, and I was talking to my judge. The announcer would come up, and I'd goof around with him. Travis and me were goofing around, and I was like, it's like, just get through these and have fun with it and stay relaxed. The workout's not until you get to the sumos, and that's when it's going to really start sucking. So
the sumo deadlift pulls were the most horrible thing I've ever done in my
Travis
life.
pulled his bar to his chin and like pulled his elbows behind his body, while Jordan was just straight up, down. It looked like you had to work twice as hard for every rep than he did. If you watch the video, well, watching it live anyway, I haven't even gone back to watch the video, but I'm sure it shows the same thing. You look like you're trying to like tie a bow tie, and he's just wider grip, pulls up, lets it go back down.
I didn't want to get no reps.
No, and of course not. But I'm saying
I had about
still
3
got no
that's
reps.
the difference. So I thought your GHDs were the best I saw anyone do out there. Jordan had a nice lead on you going into him, so he could be casual with them. You were basically straight through 100. You didn't take like a real break once.
Not very long. I think I took my feet out and put them right back in
Right.
after I take them out. But yeah.
And you had really big long sets. And then you get to the double unders, you could clearly see Jordan recover on the double unders. You go, oh shit, I got to get through these double unders. And then the smoother sumos to yours was just like the clear. That had decided it. There was no coming back from that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I got to the boxes, and I think me and Adrian dropped our bars at the same time, and I
first jump was fun.
stared at my box,
Yeah.
and he jumped right on the box, and I was like, holy shit, there's still like more than 2 minutes to do box jumps here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
It looked like slow motion. You jumped on the box. It looked like you wanted to stand up there for like 3 minutes and just kind of look around like, I'm not stepping back off the box.
That's exactly what was going through my head. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? And I did after I got through the first 10, I was like, okay.
Are you
I
hook
think
gripping
I'm
the microphone?
hooking up. I was fucking right I am.
Okay, just making
You
sure.
don't know how comforting it was for me to see him, how tired he was on the box jumps. Because in practice, anytime we ever do box jump overs, it's very hard to keep up with him. And you don't have a choice. If you want to beat him, you have to do very fast box jump overs because he's always like, oh, I'm just going to rebound him. It saves energy and it's faster. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but okay, let's do it that way.
That's actually true.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
even.
I mean,
Well,
that's
no,
sort of what we
on
teach.
both accounts, those are true.
I don't stand
Well, no,
up.
like
I-
the way, like if you stop on top of the box, turn, rebound. He's staying low and going very fast.
Like I land on the
way
box
we're
in a
talking
squat and then hit the ground. And
I say I'm not talking about loading up at the bottom. Like I'm talking about
You
very
step
fast.
over and you don't rebound?
No, I rebound
he
them all,
rebounds.
but I land on top of the box low. I don't stand up on top of the box and just kind of bounce
Yeah.
up and over the whole time. Like
Like,
when I go fast.
He's almost like rebounding on top of the box as well without stopping. And so kind of how we were stepping across the box, he wanted to, in practice, he's like, I'm just going to go fast and catch everyone at the box jumps. And I was like, crap. So I was about 10 box jumps ahead of him. And I was watching him. I was like, oh, boy, here we go. I'm about to have to go fast, and I don't want to. I'm really tired. And he drops his sumo deadlift high ball. He just looks at the box. I was like, and then he jumps up there and just stops. I'm like, oh, thank God. it was comforting to see how tired he was, because then I was like, okay, I'm doing fine then.
Handstand walk was frustrating for both of you, but for different reasons. Let's get into that.
So
You go first.
So the plan was to walk to the mat, kick down, walk across the mat, kick down, and then walk the rest of the way. Once I walked across the mat, I took both my hands off the mat, kicked down, and my judge called me back to the marker. And she said my hand was still on the mat. So I yelled at her, and
You wasted time.
I
is what you meant.
wasted
Yeah.
about 2 or 3 seconds, and then I heard the entire crowd at the same time yell, "Quit arguing, go." No, I heard the entire crowd. I heard Jen, I heard Gabe, I heard everybody.
I heard Jabs was about to jump over the rail and just beat the living
And
snot out of
so
him.
I went back to the middle of the rig and kicked up and just walked the rest of the way. Felt good. Kicked down, came back. I was way behind everybody at this point. I think I kicked up, I walked 20 feet. I kicked down, I kicked right back up 20 more feet. Kicked down again, kicked up to the mat, across the mat. And then once I got off the mat, it was like, 40 feet left maybe. And I was like, my shoulders felt good, and I think I'd caught everybody by that point. And I was like, well, I can just walk the rest of the way now. So I went the rest of the way and passed everybody. It was really funny to watch the commentary because Bill Grundler was like, where did Travis Williams come from? He started in the back.
Well, so many people in both of the regions that we've been to now really like the front half doesn't really matter that much because you cruise down and then you can't come back. So the people that are steady, just like any other workout, it pays off.
And that was kind of my mentality the whole weekend. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just kind of do what you know you can do and try and get the best score you can possibly get, because if you try and worry about keeping up with everybody else, that's when you fuck yourself and
Separates
out
a
and-
mature and immature competitor.
Yeah.
Big time.
so.
I know you don't want to talk about the handstand walk, a
No,
little
it's
PTSD,
fine.
but
I knew it was coming, and I did the best I could salvage that event. And I'm just not the most comfortable handstand walker to begin with. And when you put a workout that says, hey, walk 250 feet 4 times, I'm not going to do good. If you say put it in the middle of a workout with, for example, midnight march at the games, I'll do fairly okay.
You did great.
Yeah, you can put it in the middle of workout 50 feet at a time, and I'll be fine. I'll get through it. But so when I'm fatigued, I can handstand walk, unless it's fatigue from handstand walking. So say I'm tired.
So like if you're breathing heavy from another movement.
Yeah, I can keep going on my hands. So if I'm fatigued from other movements, I can handstand walk. But if I'm fatigued from specifically handstand walking, I won't be able to keep going. It goes out the window.
It's really hard after handstand push-ups too.
Yeah, I mean, but
I found that out because y'all did that a lot.
But anyhow, bad event for me. I salvaged what I could. Came out with the 31st finish, and
See, it's funny when you look at your scores.
yeah, and I somehow
You
was still
just
on the top.
crushed almost everything. You see that one score in the middle. It doesn't
Once
even
was
look
like,
like
what's
doesn't look
that?
like it belongs
No,
there at all.
I will say it's something I definitely need to address, and it's a weakness I need to attack. I did not think it was going to pop up again this year.
I don't think it's a weakness based on capacity though.
No,
I think
it's
we can.
about
I think we can
positioning,
clean
really,
up the
yeah.
positioning a little
Technique,
bit, and then
basically.
it won't be that hard for you anymore.
No, I agree. I mean, and I can fix it like that if I want to. Like I just got to
Take the time.
take the time, do it, and do it. Like any other CrossFit movement, people learning how to do CrossFit, it's like, hey, if you want to learn how to do something, work it until you get it. I crossed the line, and everyone's screaming, go, go, go. In my head, I was like, time to snatch. And so I didn't run the finish line, which really, in hindsight, didn't matter too much. It was maybe a point, and wasn't too big a deal. But in my head, it just switched to, I was worried about the snatch. So that was my handstand walk.
So you got capped by 1 because you didn't get the mat.
I don't even know if I would have made it to the mat with the time I had.
I guess you would have.
No,
Oh,
there
yes.
was like
you definitely would have made it.
You think so?
I
How
was
much?
jumping up and down going, you idiot.
Well,
So was everyone
you could
else.
hear on
Everyone else.
on the telecast. You could hear everyone yelling at Jordan to run because he just stood up and was
He was like,
turning.
"Yay,
It looked
I
like
did it."
I made
looked like he
it.
was in New York City looking up at the snowflakes for the first time or something. Like he was twirling around. It was like
Even my judge was like, go, go. I was like, what? I got to go snatch.
what the hell are you guys talking about?
I was like, what's going on?
All right, Snatch. What do you got? How'd it go?
Snatch. Oh, it went a lot better than practice. So I was fortunate to be in lane 3, which meant I went last. So you had 20-second intervals where people would have time to hit a snatch. And if you were in the farther lanes, you would have more time before you had to go. Now, they informed us in the briefing that before the minute 40 time was up, that you had to transition to your bar, load the weight. You were able to practice with whatever you wanted. And I was like, oh, thank God, because that's going to help me wake my shoulders up, CNS back up. And so I loaded 225 on the bar, snatched it. It was horrible. Oh, it was a horrible snatch.
It
and
looked
I was
sketchy.
scared after that. Snatch. What? I almost said snatch. And,
Vagina.
Yeah. Okay.
Travis just woke up. He's back.
Awake. Snatch went, and I hit 225, so it wasn't feeling great, so I put 231 on the bar. I was like, just hit that, get on the board. I just need to get on the board, and then if I hit it, and I'll be really awake, and I'll be able to hit a good number. Hit 231, and I was like, okay, well, it didn't feel great, but I knew I was going to be ready to go for the next one.
Plus, you knew in that region, we just watched the other heats, and I've been monitoring all the scores. So we knew even if you hit only 231, you're going to get 12th place.
Yeah, I was
13th place, something like that. It didn't matter. You
I was
just needed to
safe with
post
that.
a score. So
Definitely safe with the 231, and then I went up to 251, made a decent jump, and it felt great. Like the pull was there. The catch shoulders were still a little tired, but if 265 was on the bar, I think I would have hit it.
probably.
It just, the CNS was awake at that point. Adrenaline was rushing, and I hit it. Was pumped. And it was that was a fun event just because it's a max lift and you're in front of the crowd. The crowd's going crazy for you when you hit it. It's that there's no other feeling like that.
Just start
Vagina.
talking. All right, Travis, you're up.
Travis, Snatch. In 50 or less words.
50 or less words.
That's one.
Opened 245, hit 260 to finish with. Was planning on going 55 and 70, but our region didn't snatch for everybody that was supposed to snatch a lot in our region missed one of their lifts, so I didn't snatch a lot because I didn't need to. And I got third with 260.
The celebration was fun to watch. You two twirling around like you were dancing in the middle. That was good. No, it was fun. Seriously.
That was fun.
That was like one of the coolest part of the weekends. I mean, we were next to each other all weekend until the final event, pretty much.
Well,
So that was
everyone
awesome.
knew that you guys were training partners and that you guys were like, you know, the two to kind of watch out for. And then you guys just kept crushing everybody and everything. And they were like, holy shit, what are these guys doing? And they couldn't help but pay attention to the fact that you two kept beating everybody. And it became not about Travis or about Jordan, but about the guys. Like, they couldn't believe what was going on. So, I mean, I think that was kind of the sentiment that the weekend was left with was like, well, these two guys made it. Not Travis made it and Jordan made it. You guys kind of got lumped together, whether you like it or not.
That was great. We were hoping for 7 workouts to come out that we could both top 5 somehow, because we're not exactly the same athlete. So I mean, you know,
It's only a few
It's
pairs
hard
of training partners that I can think of in the like real training partners. You guys came up from nothing, really. I mean, it's not the same as, you know, Rich Froning asking Dan Bailey to move in with him and train with him. They're already both games athletes, and they both make the games. You two guys went from whatever sports you played in high school to whatever you decided to do after high school into fitness. And then
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Went from that to working out together to qualifying to the CrossFit Games together. That's a whole different thing, and I don't know if there's anyone else that's ever done that in this young sport.
not that I know of.
You guys have definitely done it together in terms of like, I'm better at you than this, you're better at me than that, and you guys really pushing each other. Like that's like a really big part of CrossFit. Like you just see it in regular like straight up affiliate classes. Like there's these two friends that are always like checking each other's scores and doing this and that, and like you guys have done the exact same thing, but on like a much higher
And
level.
I mean, that's how I got into CrossFit, like competing with the guys in my affiliate. And I've always just trying to find that somewhere. And it's really hard. Like nobody wants to, everybody's got a different schedule and stuff. So you just kind of got to suck it up and train with somebody when they can do it.
Well, you got to be all in though. I mean, you guys both found someone that was like, I don't care how much money I make. I don't care like what this is or that is. We are going to train our ass off together and see what happens.
Worked out pretty well.
Now, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. People want to know whether your eyes look like that or whether you wear some sort of like darkening eye makeup.
So when I get tired, I look like I got punched in the face twice.
Holy crap,
Always.
dude! What's wrong with your eyes?
Yeah.
I just
Or I'll
noticed
rub 'em.
that.
People
I'll
that
rub
don't
'em.
know him that follow Misfit call him Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious
Yeah.
because if I like start getting tired and I start rubbing my eyes, I guess this swells up a little bit and it looks like I have black eyes.
You basically almost always look like that, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People think you
When
look
I'm
like
tired,
Batman.
That's awesome.
You kind of
Like,
you
I've
kind of
never
adds
noticed
it adds
that.
to your mystique. a
Can
little
my
bit.
nickname be Batman?
I am
Like,
Travis.
I don't have a nickname yet.
Travis, man.
Travis, man.
Yeah, Trav, man.
Batvis.
The Trav.
All right, Jordan, we're gonna go to you for day 3, but we're gonna lump it all together.
That's fine.
Because you guys
You got a microphone, bro.
That's fine.
went through a couple of workouts. The first one you had to push hard on. The second one you knew you were going to the CrossFit Games, but you're competitive, so you wanted to win it anyways.
Yeah, so event 6 was fun. I thought I was going to win. Again, it was like
It was stupid.
Strict handstand push-ups, deficit, chest to bars, and rowing. Strict handstand push-ups and chest to bars I'm good at. Those are my movements. I love them. But for some reason, my chest to bars just went out the window. The grips weren't sticking very well to the bar. It was very hard to hold on to it, and that was the reason I lost. Simple as that.
What place you come in that workout?
3rd, I believe.
So you
Yeah, I was up there like this. The reason I lost was because I couldn't hold on to the bar. The other guy could. No, it was simple as that.
Who else beat you? Chad Cole and who?
Chad Cole and who's
Logan Collins.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Travis would know.
Yeah,
He knows.
would.
I know
all that. It's
everything.
ridiculous.
I know what place everybody got in each
Yeah,
workout.
he sure does.
I can tell.
Yeah, he does. That was good. Then the final event, we were going into it knowing we were going to the games pretty much. I mean, it was still stressful because it's like
wasn't
it's not
stressful.
it's not official until you see the leaderboard after all 7 events.
Yep.
But like we were 98% sure, like 90% sure we were going. Like that's what it was in my head. Even though
mathematically you were 100% lost.
I know,
both
but
of
in
you.
my head, like there's still like, what if, you
Yeah.
know, that kind of feeling. Going into it, fun, and it was like me and Travis were kind of like, all right, so we're kind of going for second place here. Me, you, and Adrian. It's like, who wants it? And
$2,000 on the line.
essentially, that's what it was.
That's true.
$2,000.
I forget about that.
I
all
told
the time.
Adrian and Jordan, I was like, hey, you guys
That's
realize
like
we're competing
12
for
weeks
$2,000,
of work for you
right?
guys.
It is, man. It really is.
I didn't even think of it. It doesn't.
8
I
weeks.
don't get paid anything, so it doesn't cross my mind. I'm just like, hey, who wants to win?
What about you? What do you think of day 3?
So the handstand push-up WOD was I'll say I was pretty lucky because I really like rowing and chest-to-bar pull-ups. And if I had to have strict handstand push-ups put into a workout, I would like it to be paired with something else I'm good at. So thankfully, rowing and chest-to-bars was it. But event 6 was just kind of going into that weekend. I was like, this is the wash event. I was 103 points ahead of 6th place going into it. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's just go finish this workout. We'll do really well on event 6. So event 7. And after event 6, I was still way ahead of 6th place. I think I was in 4th, like 5 points behind Adrian and Jordan each. And so I was pretty much locked to go to the games. So I was like, whatever. The last event, I'm just going to be smooth. I'm not going to rush these cleans. I'm going to drop them, let them bounce, and step over the bar and pull the next one as fast as I can. And it ended up being the fastest time for some reason. But, whatever.
On the muscle ups.
Not falling on your face helps.
Not falling on your
Yeah.
face was a big deal. You can do a 122 going through the bars slowly. Like,
So it's pretty well known now that Jordan got away with a heck of a 15th rep, and maybe another.
I would
one in
say
there.
several
We'll
reps.
talk about
Yeah.
maybe
13,
doing like an
14,
iron
15.
cross for his other.
Right.
I'd say several reps in there. Like when I watched, I was like, why did I just
So
give
how
me
would
this?
you have felt if you see Jordan gets away with a blatant one and he beats you by 2/10 instead of the other way around? Because you end up beating him by 2/10 of a
I'd have
second.
told him he owed me $500 for
That's sort of the answer.
so
I
we can
expected.
split it evenly because that would be bullshit. Like,
Sort of the answer I expected. Good enough.
You really like knew what was going on with event 6, and you were able to take yourself out of the fact that you were in the top heat and do your own thing. Like you could, if you wanted to, screw yourself over a little bit in that workout. Like do the handstand push-ups in big sets at the start and then let them disappear. So my question is just like, how do you get to that place as an athlete to be humble and just say, you know what, like I'm going to save face on this workout. I'm really just trying to beat the time cap. I'm going to knock it into small sets. I'm going to do what I can because people don't go to the games because they go too hard in workouts that they shouldn't.
So you guys program strict handstand push-up workouts all the time. I train with Jordan all the time. So I always get beat by 5 minutes when he does a workout, a 4-minute strict handstand push-up workout, and I'm sitting there doing it for 10. And I'm like, all right, well, this sucked. And then I look at the blog, and everybody else beat me by 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm just like, I'm used to getting the shit beat out of me on strict handstand push-ups, so I wasn't even worried about it.
But you're cool with saying like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to hammer this. I'm going to go in and get it done
Yeah,
because
same.
I know I could screw myself over.
Same thing on the chipper. Like, you come off the treadmill after everybody. You're not the first one to the GHD.
Yeah.
Same thing. You just got to do good what you're good at and get through what you're not, or be okay at what you're not good at,
Yep.
One of the things that I don't think they get enough credit for is Travis is probably over-prepared, and Jordan is probably prepared to the point that he can kind of let it fly out on the field. Travis is over-prepared. He has a plan, and then a backup plan, and then a backup plan for his backup plan.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah, and no matter what happens out there, he'll fall from plan A to plan B to plan C, and something's going to work. So clearly that's a testament to his preparation, not just in the workouts, but it goes, we talk about stuff all the time. All of us talk about the workouts all the time. Like, what do we all think is best? Then he gets to make the decision when it comes down to it. And like I said, he just kind of stacks his plans up, and if the first one goes, he's willing to take the next one. He's not stubborn out there. He's very stubborn in real life, but out there on the field, he's ready. So it doesn't really matter what comes at him anymore.
I definitely learned my lesson in last year's regionals with not having a plan of like, oh, I'm just gonna go hard, and then like things fall apart sometimes. You gotta know what you're doing when that shit happens, because it's not fun.
If you get panicked out there and you don't have a backup plan, it's all over.
Yep,
it's all over. So I mean, and Jordan, like I said, I don't have to talk a lot about him. He's figured. This is his second year. He's defending champ. He's going back to the games 2 years in a row. We talk strategy here and there, but he pretty much already has a system that works for him in place. He may even over-strategize training pieces to the point that he knows how to do it in competition. So
Jordan doesn't strategize. He goes unbroken.
That's true.
That's his strategy.
My strategy.
That's
is like,
good problem to have.
No, in a way it is a strategy, and the fact that I'm like, okay, I'm expecting to go unbroken, so I don't have to crush the next piece or something. I can break at other pieces because I know I'm going to do the big set of muscle-ups and that other guys can't do, or big set of chest ups or toe to bars. Like, I don't have to cycle the barbell as fast because I'm like, well, I'm going to hold on to that bar a lot longer than other guys.
But whether you know it or not, you probably adjust on the fly better than, or as well as anybody I work with.
Yeah,
like
I think
you know how to. This isn't working, this is next. Like instant.
Yep.
You don't think about it. You don't panic. You're just like calm, cool, and collected at all times out there.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Which is the opposite to your real life too.
Oh snap!
Nah,
Wild card.
I think
Wild card, right?
No, I agree. I think I don't give much thought in the middle of the workout. I'm just like, okay, got to do this. I don't think about a lot of things. It's just like get the job done.
Yeah.
It's usually it's like transition. Just grab the bar, go. That's usually how I go. And if something's working, I'm like, all right, I need to break. If I need to break, it's usually because I'm pushing a little too hard, and I'm like, okay, this is too much, or I don't know.
All right, guys. So before we get into the programming explanation, Travis wants to show you guys his new tank top.
Check me out.
Travis is rocking the new Misfit Athletics Sharpen the Axe tank top, available in both the blue that he is wearing and a black version, men's and women's. Ted, when are we putting those on the website? They will be on the website very soon, and you can purchase them. And actually, that's a perfect transition into the cycle, explanation, because we're going into some strict strength. So if maybe you want to order a size up on the tank and then do the cycle, try to fill out like Travis here. You can order 2.
I would order 2 of those tank tops, one to fit in now and one for my gains for later.
Wow. So if you're like really shooting for the Travis Williams program, no excuses, no days off. I'm going from 612 pounds to the CrossFit Games in 2 weeks. I'm going to fuck shit up.
If you follow Misfit Athletics, you will do that.
Wow. That's a testimonial right there.
Well,
we're going to put that on the website.
You have to actually do the things that you can't just follow. You have to do them too.
So
lots of people follow along and they don't really do it.
You can do all the workouts and still not get the results. You got to eat good. You got to sleep good. You got to do everything else.
That's my man. He's on life. There he is.
It's 3-1. 3-1.
Wild card over there.
There he is. All right, carry on.
So, cycle 2 of the 2016 Regionals prep plan. We are taking the cycle that you guys just did, and we're taking cycle 1 that's going to happen after the CrossFit Games that all the OG followers know what that's going to be like. We're kind of breaking things out a little bit. We're going to clean up gymnastics. We're going to do some monostructural. We're going to lift a lot of heavy, slow weights. Well, hopefully not slow, but slower lifts. We're going to blend those together a little bit. Seth's going to talk a little bit about the programming for the conditioning, but again, it's really just a nice solid blend of those two so that you guys are ready and you guys have a step up on the games athletes for the 2016 season.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're not going to do anything really different or crazy. We're going to start mixing intervals back in. Last cycle, we kind of kept it pretty much open style metcons, and we're going to start working the interval stuff, a little bit of bitch work, a little bit of monostructural stuff. We're going to tie sleds into everything. And really, it's just going to be a lot more traditional CrossFit with just kind of prepping for that big cycle 1 that starts up after the games. Nothing crazy in there. As Drew said, the gymnastic stuff, we're going to allow you guys to start cleaning it up a little earlier this year than we did last year. Last year, our focus really started in the warm-ups on cycle 1. This year, we're going to have just some time for you guys to start working on that now. Anyone who's not competing obviously has a big weakness or a hole that needs to be taken care of this time of year, so we're going to try to give you guys the opportunity. The warm-ups are going to be a little different at this point. I'm still kind of considering them weakness warm-ups, but you're going to run into chunks of movements that you don't see that often, kind of odd movements, so you're going to be able to use some monostructural stuff and build up with things like sets of GHDs, sets of push-ups, sets of strict gymnastics work, stuff like that, and it'll kind of progress into bigger chunks, more volume as we go along. But pretty short cycle, just kind of a, not necessarily just a filler cycle. Is that really happening right now?
I was gonna say, could y'all hear him peeing?
It's in my headphones.
Yeah, it's in my headphones. Sherb always farts when he pisses too. So if we go really silent, he's gonna fart.
You know what's great? There's like a bathroom door, and he just no. I don't really care. They're recording.
Gabe,
gonna piss in the middle of the recording.
He wrecked our hotel room and then just left it there. Correct? Is that what happened?
No worries, we can hear you tinkle on our headphones. Oh yes.
He blew that toilet up and then just left it the way it was.
Actually, the seat came off. That's where I had
We could hear you pissing in our headphones. It was awesome.
We can just keep this in and keep going, really. I mean, at this point. So, yeah, nothing crazy. 6 weeks of getting after it, but still having fun. The volume will still be lower for the most part than the traditional cycles on the blog. And you're going to just keep doing CrossFit. I mean, I'm not going to get too deep into it. It's just still more CrossFit. We always have a plan. We always have an outline that we follow. It's not always that important that everyone knows exactly how or why we're doing it. Just important that we have a plan for you guys. And, you know, if you believe in us as much as these two do, who knows what's going to happen. So,
what's really cool about what we just did, we did it on purpose because what we did is we gave you guys some tests to do. We gave you 6 weeks of very straight up, like CrossFit style programming, and really, really begged everybody to stick with the technique work and the lifts and to push as hard as they could in the Metcons. And now you guys are annihilating the retest week. And the reason we did that is because we wanted to show you what 6 weeks of putting your head down and getting the work would do. Now you have the rest of the year to continue to get after it. And you think about the type of progress you just made in 6 weeks and what you can do the entire rest of the season. So that's why we pull these guys in to try to convince you, because this is exactly what they do. Like, that's why we do what we do, because we know that, you know, kind of the formula that we've come up with, which is really just asking you guys to work your ass off, works. You know, I don't know if you guys want to speak to that at all. I mean, because we get so many questions. You know, we were going to have a Q&A session to this podcast, but I think it'd be better if you guys answered the questions.
I'm going to jump right onto something, and then you guys can. One question that I got in the last, so we're in the middle of the East Regional, just came from the South Regional, and the question I've heard probably 10 times now from people coming up and asking me is, hey, I go to this gym, they make me do this programming, but I'm going to do double sessions, and I want to do Misfit stuff on the side, or I'm going to do, 2 days of Misfit, 2 days of this. What do you think about that? How do I do that? And I just go, you should probably just do your gym's programming, because it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to jump around trying to hit the goals of 2 individual coaches or programmers going at the same time. If you want to be all in with us, you're going to be able to hit the appropriate amount of volume, hopefully the right amount of intensity, and learn what you need to learn throughout the season. If you are trying to mix things up with what another coach has for goals for you, you're probably not going to make that much progress. I mean, I think, and this kind of leads right into something that Travis could attest to. He was trying to do that for a while last season. He was trying to mix in his own version of strength and with some of the Metcons and just, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I did a strength cycle, and then I just kind of picked and chose Metcons. I wasn't trying to follow anything specific, but it didn't work.
It worked a little bit. I mean,
I got stronger.
Yeah. And then
that's it.
Fast forward to, like we've always talked about, after Jordan qualified last year, you decided to jump on. Following one program made, fair to say,
I got stronger and better at CrossFit following a program.
Now, before we keep going on cycle 2, I'm just going to use this opportunity. Most of the questions that I get sent to me in an email is, I'm following your programming, but I would also like to do X strength program. I would also like to do X endurance program. I would also like to do X gymnastics program.
Essentially the same thing.
What do you guys do? Do you guys follow the blog with the strength and the gymnastics, or do you guys add supplemental stuff in to try to fill that stuff up?
Here's the stuff that we do different. The stuff that's not on the blog. We stretch. We do raw mod afterwards. We eat really good, and we sleep as much as possible in the evening. That's what we do. And that, if it's training, it's on the blog. Like,
wait, so you don't get this like we don't send you this like gold folder that says Jared Crooks programming on it. We actually write on misfitathletics.com for free exactly what you do.
That's exactly right.
We also post our scores online every day,
yeah.
so you can see exactly what we got on every WOD when we.
The only additional stuff they get is they get the fantastic remote coaching from Seth. So that would be the suggestion that we would have above and beyond would be Seth keeps an eye on their videos. Seth makes sure that everything's going okay, that kind of thing. Being there from a coach's aspect of more of kind of like a, taking a step back, making sure everything's going okay. If they have a weakness or if they have something very specific that they need to work on, through a remote coach, through the exact same program, he can help a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm back. There wasn't a lot that we had to even modify through the season. There was a few things that both had concerns about, and we addressed them. We changed one movement or scale up or back a movement, whatever we need, change a weight on this and that, and otherwise it's exactly as written. I mean,
I did a few extra strict handstand push-ups in my warm-up, so that was about it.
You did?
That was about it.
God.
Because Seth told me to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. We may have done a couple strict press sets, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's not...
Mix it up.
And that would be the additional type of thing that you would get through the remote coaching. It would be tweaks to our program, video review, a coach to talk to when you have the questions that you have when you guys email us. So that kind of thing. So the second cycle of the 2016 plan, Seth went over the conditioning. In terms of strength, again, really easy to explain. We're taking what we just did and we're building on it. We're going to increase the weight a little bit. Not going to get too crazy. The 16-week squat program that you guys are on is going to start to ramp up a little bit, but it was done gradually on purpose because we do see the videos of everybody moving, and we want to make sure that we don't go from 70% to 90% too quick and take the form completely out of it, and then it's really hard to build on that. So the squat program is going to continue to progress. The weight's going to go up a little bit on the squat cleans, the power cleans, squat snatches, power snatches, all that stuff. And then we're going to throw a little bit of the cycle 1 type stuff in there. Seth already talked about the sleds that we're going to put in. Possibly the most bang for your buck you can get on any exercise there is out there. Those you guys will know if you go out and purchase yourself a nice sled, throw some weight on it, sprint around a little bit. You can. It's as brutal as an assault bike.
We'll do a nice little video for you guys too about when we talk about different tempos on the sled, whether it's a slow drag, sprinting push, things like that, just so you guys have an idea. Because we tried using weights in the past, and it's too much variance with the different builds of sleds and the different styles of sleds. So we're going to show you guys like speeds we expect, so you can load the sleds yourself.
Somebody might be on asphalt, somebody might be on concrete, somebody might be on turf,
or rubber in their gym.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to give you guys speeds.
Yeah, speeds, which will dictate your intensity of how hard you're pushing or dragging, whatever we decide. So.
Yeah, and then to top off the strength, there's going to be a couple of the movements that you would see more in cycle 1, like a strict press. That's going to pop up a couple of times a week. We're going to give you guys a second squat day with a little bit of deload in there in your weeks that you can work technique and kind of flush the system out a little bit and be ready for your following week as stuff starts to get heavier. But it's not rocket science. You're still not going to see any tempo front squats or bent over rows or anything like that. We're going to continue to give you guys some high intensity metcons and some barbells to move, and as long as you keep working your ass off and keep checking for Travis's scores and Jordan's scores and everybody else, you'll be right where you need to be.
They might not be there while we're prepping for the games.
That's true.
After the games, they will be.
We may actually
And if
put
there is some of the stuff on there, they will definitely be there.
We may even let you guys post some of your game scores on there so people get a taste, because we haven't decided how we're going to release that yet.
I think everybody should just do the games training.
I don't think so.
That way I could have scores to compare against all the time, but if you don't think
I'm not
that's
going to be
the best,
comparable?
Oh.
Wow.
well,
don't think-
maybe somebody out there lifts more than you and more than me, or the same as me, or maybe somebody out there does better strict handstand push-ups than me, and you could compete against.
We got a list
So,
full of test dummies that we could throw wads at before
Very
you
true.
do them. So
We know who's got what strengths and weaknesses,
true.
so we'll throw it at them first.
Travis is excited.
I'm gonna beat him in everything but strict handstand push-ups.
After regionals, we're going to be announcing a contest for females. So we have 5 male athletes on our Team Misfit roster and 1 female. And the contest won't necessarily guarantee you a spot on the team, but what we're going to do is we're going to have females that have been following the blog and that are interested in some extra coaching from us fill out a really short application. They're going to have to do a 2 or 3 part workout and film it, send it to us. And there'll be some social media stuff in there too. And we're going to choose a handful of them, narrow them down, and then one of them is actually going to win a free year of remote coaching from us. So pretty big prize. We'll throw some gear in there and stuff too, but the specifics will be announced after regionals. And who knows if our winner or one of even the top picks ends up working out really well for us. And we are actively looking for another female for Team Misfit, but she has to be the right fit. So we're just going to cast our net out there to our followers and see what happens.
Can you handle this, ladies?
That's very helpful. I'm sure that you just added like 10 applications to the pile, I'm sure.
Of course I did.
Yeah, thank you.
So that segues into a frequently asked question. I want both of you to give a little rundown on what you think someone would need to do to be added to the team, because we're looking at 10 to 15 sponsorship applications a week right now, and a lot of that's due to you two, your success recently. So if someone really wanted to be sponsored by us and you guys had some, you guys would be, you would even know better than us. What does it take?
Follow the blog. Find a good training partner. Post your scores on the blog all the time. Be competitive. Message us. Talk shit to us. Become friends with us. That kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much just that. And one, you have to get to know.
Don't be weird.
You have to get to know us.
No, weird is fine.
Weird is fine.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Ooh,
all right.
where am I sitting right now?
Oh my God.
Talk to me about
Weird
that.
is a plus.
I think if you look at what I did and then Travis did later, was one, you follow the blog. They asked that you be a good advocate of Misfit. Are you spreading the Misfit word? Are you trying to help get others to follow it? How consistent are you? Are you posting on the blog on a daily basis? Are you working hard? And then 2, are you sticking with it? I think that's a big thing right there. We stuck with it.
Wait, so you can't just, if you send a 260 snatch in a video and you follow
wait.
for 1 week and we don't say yes, then you shouldn't quit.
I guess, you could go about it that way.
You shouldn't
but,
quit. You should probably just keep following the blog.
Yeah, no, you
And-
can't expect that. You don't expect to be added to the team after a week of following the blog. That's not how it works. You
Nope.
have to earn your spot.
You
on
have
the
your
team.
left earphone on your right ear. Keep going.
Oh,
That's
cool.
that's normal. Regular day. Keep
Yeah,
going.
No wild card.
Weird.
Well,
Weird is fine.
Weird is fine. But just be patient. Don't give up on it because you're not seeing exactly what you want within the first month of you doing
If
something.
your one goal is to be a sponsored athlete, and you're just not getting sponsored immediately, I don't know, I guess you kind of just got to stick to whatever you're doing, but you got to stick to one thing. If you shoot at a bunch of fish in a barrel, you might hit one of them, but you're probably not going to get a good one. If you keep shooting at the big fish, you're going to end up hitting it eventually.
I like that.
That's good. And we're not even
That was deep, bro.
we're laughing and joking around and having a good time because, you know, again, we're a team. We enjoy being around each other, but we're not poking fun at anybody. That's literally they answered exactly the way Seth or I would have. Like, those are the types of things that you guys need to do to be sponsored. A random email out of the blue usually means that we don't know who you are yet. Right. And a big part of it, you know, if you're going to be sitting in a hotel room with us like we are right now shooting a podcast, we have to know that you're a good fit. We have to know that you work hard. We have to know that you've been following for a while, that kind of thing. You know, we didn't lightly add either of these two guys. Like, it was the type of decision where everyone voted yes. Everyone wanted them on the team. So, you know, their answers were exactly what we were looking for, and that's why we asked them.
And they were aggressive about, you know, staying with what we're doing and becoming a part of the family, really, because we do not seek people out. Like, I will not go message somebody that I think I can make better and say, hey, why don't you switch to us? I think that's tacky, and I think that happens too much in the sport, and I won't be a part of it. So these guys were really, like, psyched to follow the program. They really liked it. There's a you know, a bigger group than just those two that were doing it. There's other people down in their area that follow, and they followed for a long time. I mean, Jordan was at least a year deep. Travis is, like, you know, a full year on, but also we're well aware of Travis before he was even fully committed to us, and he was, you know, reaching out to us, and we did a camp with him early on, and so, I mean, it was a long process, and everybody in the sport, coaches and athletes, they have to be type A personalities, so they're all aggressive, they're all somewhat about themselves at the end of the day, because that's how you become successful at anything. But these personalities still find a way to kind of mesh, so really well, actually, because we spend a lot of time with each other traveling around, and even though people can rub each other the wrong way in certain moments, like, it is a big family, and so far we've been extremely successful with who we've added and who we've brought into our circle, and we want to only build that up. It's only better for everybody. So
if you were actively recruiting, would you be as good of a coach, as good of a programmer? Would you have the time and the resources?
You would have a shit product. You wouldn't be giving anything valuable to anybody, and
right.
we see that every day, and we don't want to be a part of that. So
yeah,
bottom line.
To give an example, like about, I don't know, where your consistency. Back when Travis and I really started training together, probably right after the games. We trained together throughout the year, but really became training partners, I'd say, after the games. And he's really good and becoming a really big follower of Misfit. And if you had asked me, there were people that asked me, do you think he's going to be the next Misfit? And I said, I hope not, because he hasn't earned it yet. He has not been following long enough. I'm like, no, he was making really good progress, but he hadn't really kind of put the time in. It's not just about how good you are.
Right.
It's about being a part of the team, being committed to Misfit.
Yep.
I think there was better choices than me at that point to put on the team, I thought, when I started.
Maybe, yeah, but I think it was just like you needed time to prove yourself. Honestly, to kind of prove your loyalty to, like, hey, is this for real, or are you just...
Well, then we wouldn't want him to do that just for a sponsorship. Like, we were kind of able to meet each other in the middle. Like, he was able to get the benefit from the programming. He's getting to the CrossFit Games, and we were able to see the type of thing that he put in. Like, we hope that it's a two-way street. So
yeah, and that's basically what it is. Is like, I'm glad they choose the way they do. I'm glad they basically force you to wait. It's like, I mean, that's the only way they'll see if you're for real. You know, I mean, it just takes time. It takes time. So if you really want it, patience.
Well put, wild card. Well done.
I like that. Coming in at the end, dropping a bomb, wild card.
So I think, the key for Jordan is you warm him up for like 90 minutes, and then he has all these,
nuggets.
Really
I have my
nuggets.
nuggets. My moment.
Dropping nugs at the end. I like it.
It's getting late too, and you're still dropping nugs. So that's pretty.
It's only 9:55 my time.
Oh boy, it's
Jordan refuses when he's in a different time zone to say that it's what time it is in that actual time zone.
It's 9:55.
It's 9:55 our time.
So they're both on that. Yeah. We're wrapping up the podcast. If you want to be one of the lucky ladies or gentlemen to snag yourself one of these bad boys. You're probably on YouTube right now watching this. You need to subscribe. And in the
That's
next
true.
10 days or so, we're going to pick one random person, one random man and one random lady. We're going to message you and send you a free tank. So if you're on here.
A man and a woman?
Yeah.
Oh, you said just a woman earlier. Okay.
Yeah, we're
Even
gonna
better.
Yeah, we're gonna give out
Wow.
a freebie.
That was for the ladies
to both.
contest.
Oh, that was
So
the
if
ladies
you
contest?
have
I thought we
not,
were talking
that
about
was the ladies
Never mind.
contest. This
Okay.
is just you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you like us on Facebook, you like us on Instagram, or you follow us on Instagram, you follow us on Twitter, and you get yourself a free tank.
And follow at Travis 291402.
What's your handle?
J CrossFit Cook.
Is it? You can put it above.
Don't unfollow and refollow. If you're already following, you're entered. Okay.
Yeah, you've already been entered because it's
play
gonna be
games.
random.
It's a random.
It's gonna be so
all
random.
subscribers are eligible.
We're actually gonna turn the camera now to Matthew Michael Sherburne and Gabriel Garcia, and we'd just like to know if you guys had any final thoughts.
Oh, that was Matt peeing too.
Sorry about that.